it could be a mixture of a whole lot of different things, but I notice it's a very relatable thing to like feel guilt over trying to take a relaxing day or something like that. Not, yeah, it's just like it's something I notice with myself, and the reason I have trouble being productive, and the reason I have such burnout through years and years of doing this myself is I've rarely truly taken a day of true relaxation, of true just getting rid of all that shit in my head, of really truly embracing how unimportant everything this is kind of a weird thing to say, but how unimportant so many of the things we try to be so productive with are. Like, I don't care what it is. And it's just like, yeah, something I want to do, or something maybe I have to do, but like, it's just that. It's something I want to do, or it's something I have to do. I just realized I still, like, after a fucking, like, year or so of having that fucking headboard, there's still stickers on it I didn't take off. Huh. And I thought I was an observant person. Anyway, it's just, it's what I want to do, or what has to happen. And what I have to do, generally I end up doing. What I want to do, if I truly just embrace it as a want, I will end up doing it. If I can bypass the whole, self-sabotage, whatever. That's a different thing. This is I guess self-sabotaging in itself, but like of that guilt. So I mean, I guess it's relevant. But anyway, yeah, it's just it's interesting how little time I've taken to actually, like, and it's built up. It's like I've built up so much debt when it comes to that it's like I gotta take weeks off at a time from shit, but then I feel like I'm taking too much time off, and then I just keep procrastinating on stuff because I'm in this fight with myself. It's like, should I be productive or should I not really do anything? It's ridiculous. It's because this entire day, I know it stemmed from me feeling all down because yesterday I actually made some really good moves for myself, worked out for the first time in a while. I've been managing my calories for the past few days pretty well, like consistently, so that's been great. But one, of course, feeling bad because this morning of being super tired, I drank some caffeine. But even besides that, the reason I was tired, I could have just slept in, but like I had to get to therapy. But last night, after making these positive decisions for myself and doing them, not just deciding I'm gonna do this and then not doing it, I did it. The thing about it is, I ended up depressed afterwards because it's like it really showed me how much I needed to play catch up when it comes to all that. But I guess now I'm realizing all the catch up I need to play. It sounds like I'm saying catch up. When it comes to the other side of it, the side of truly relaxing, not indulging in shitty behaviors like fucking like going down a YouTube rabbit hole or watching a bunch of porn or eating my feelings like I have. I mean, truly just embracing the nothingness of a day, truly, and not just letting myself feel the nothingness and the aspect, or the aspect, right? The angle, the point of view of like going, or not embracing it in the aspect of like, well, I guess embracing wouldn't be the right word, but not like feeling it so much to the point where it makes me feel sad, but just like truly like, yeah, embrace is the right word. Embrace it, and actually feel. I had to rewatch the video to, I guess, inspire me again, but there was a video I saw a while ago where it's like, a great way to kind of help your mental health sometimes is to embrace kind of being a loser. Like, just fucking say fuck it all every once in a while. I mean, it depends on who you are. Obviously, if you're a person who's always a lazy piece of shit, this is not for you. But, like, for people like me who pressure themselves on all this stuff, embrace the loser side of shit. Don't focus so much on, like, how good you're doing career-wise and all this kind of stuff. And don't focus so much on what needs to be done and what you need, like, whatever today is, just stop. and what I need to do is just truly embrace the fact that nothing matters. Not be like, nothing matters. No, be like, nothing matters. And kind of let that free you. And let that be more of let that encourage you. Encourage me to do the things I want to do. Because it doesn't matter anyway. You're gonna die one day. Who gives a fuck? Right? But, so... But there's an aspect of it, I guess. There is this guilt I feel because it's the way I gotta go about things currently is not doing much. So it's not so much, it's learning to also, like, not embrace the things I want to do, but, like, not even do them, like, all of them. Because there's so many things I want to do that take so much energy that I just don't have right now. And yes, I've spent a lot of time procrastinating on those things and putting those things off. But this is different. Sure, it's going to push things to the future even more. But I got to, along the way, embrace all the days of doing nothingness. Right? And view them as just as valuable as the days where I'm on it. That's what I got to do. I started just making this video because I've been sitting here all day just feeling bad about having to relax and just pushing that feeling further of, like, because, like, tomorrow, if I keep this up, tomorrow when it comes time to the fact that I gotta finish this fucking assignment before midnight tomorrow, it's gonna be hard to motivate myself to do that because I spent the whole day of the day where I truly need to do nothing just thinking about that the whole time instead of just, like, saying fuck it. I wouldn't embrace, I need to just fucking relax. And I guess a big part of it is the fact that I do need to talk to people more, embrace, be more part of my community. Go to a freaking, I'm gonna stop smoking this for now. Go to a freaking AA meeting every once in a while and shit like that, get that community, because, like, I spend so much time just being alone. I guess I just need someone that I can just do nothing with. As simple as that, and having a cat is fine and all, but though I've had problems with the man recently and I haven't watched the fucking podcast in a while, I was a very avid Joe Rogan fan, and it's nothing of the fact of, like, oh, now I have a different interpretation, I realize he sucks. It's never been that. It's just, like, he has been infected, unfortunately, a lot by this whole left-right thing, and it's just kind of like, doing that thing because the left has lost their fucking minds of, like, going all the way to the right, and, like, I don't think that's right either. Not right in the sense of, you know what I mean, like, kind of just, it's being contrary just to be contrary. I get the other side's doing a lot of what you don't like, but, like, there's things that I don't know, it's just like, it's not just that, but he just, like, believes Terrence Howard's a genius and shit. I'm going way off topic with that, but, like, he did say some smart shit about I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Very scatterbrained today. I remember what I was gonna say now about Joe Rogan. He said something, was really on point about pets, about dogs and cats. He's like, you have a great whatever with that, but compare it to food. I'm not saying eat them, but, like, as far as emotionally, cats and dogs are junk food. Not saying they don't have their value, because they definitely fucking do. I mean, I feel like I would have fucking, like, offed myself a while ago if I didn't have that cat, honestly. It's a big help, but it's like just eating candy all the time. You need your protein, you need your nutrients and shit like that, and that's what interaction with other human beings does for you. which also gave me a good perspective on animals too. I definitely think that people should have more than one of the same, preferably of the same species. It's a happy accident that Callie ended up coming to live with us too. They're both from the same litter, but originally, we had one cat, and then my older brother and his wife had the other. But eventually, we now have Callie too. So it's a happy accident with that. But I realized the importance of them being with their own kind as well as us. I don't know if it's the same for them because I can't fucking understand what a cat thinks a lot of time. I can understand them relatively well. I mean, you do develop a certain language with your pet and stuff like that, but I can't completely understand, but I imagine it's kind of similar. It's well, being more people's cool and all, but you kind of need your own whatever. And with us, it's that's why it's the crazy cat lady thing. It's it's because you can't replace people with animals. You might want to, and Lord knows I do, because people can be difficult. People can suck and shit like that. But you do need interaction with other people, and that is a big part of what I'm missing here. It's not so much the fact that I did nothing today. It's the fact that I did nothing alone, right? And I could watch YouTube videos of people all day just doing stuff and try to get some parasocial whatever from that, but it's still not interacting with another human being enough. And I just need that. That would definitely help. But yeah, it's just today it's been interesting, and it's something I need to go through. It's painful to not do anything because here's the thing, the reason I don't right now today, because every time I do, it ends up exhausting me immediately, and I need to just chill out. You're overwhelming yourself. But then I get overwhelmed when I'm spending too much time doing nothing, and if I let myself be with my own thoughts just too much or whatever, and then which is why I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos shit all day, because being alone in my thoughts can be uncomfortable, but it can be necessary. It might be uncomfortable, but it's something you need to push through. It's something I need to push through, because those thoughts that are coming up that are so uncomfortable is I need to get this done, all this kind of shit, and it's all this stuff of thinking I'm gonna fall behind or something like that if I don't do something. But the fact of the matter is, me constantly doing stuff all the time is what's draining me so much, and it's what's keep pushing that shit further in the future. Oh, this will be something to do tomorrow, and stuff like that. And originally I thought it was just me making excuses of yes, yesterday you say you do it tomorrow, just do it. It's fucking Shia LaBeouf shit. And that's a problem that a lot of people have, absolutely. But this is a case of I do need to push it a little bit, and truly do. Don't let it affect my day to day because I'm not doing it. Let it be a thing that I'm just not doing right now, and that is fine. It's not always that fucking deep, and I need to learn that. I need to be better at that, and just kind of just let things be. And it's why I come on here so many times bitching, because I would just let that be a thing, and it's I gotta do something, and then I hit record on this. So I think it's good for me to do this the way I am right now, where I didn't completely let the thoughts consume me before I turned on the camera. I just kind of did it. There's that too. There's that lesson of just do it when it comes to certain things. Obviously, I had enough energy to do this, so that's good. But yeah, it's something I need to that's something I need to work on. And by work on, don't work at all. Really, it's because you have a full-time job, you got to deal with school, you got to deal with all these other problems, all these responsibilities, all this kind of stuff. Thank fucking God I don't have kids. Oh my God, that would be the worst for me right now. That would be not good for me or for that child. So thank God that's not a thing. And I'm not saying, I need to be in a relationship necessarily either, because I really don't have much desire for that right now either. I don't have fucking time for that either. I'm just saying more friendships, more actually interacting with human beings outside of a professional manner or something like that. And just kind of but how the fuck do you develop friendships in your adult life? You know what I mean? it's, you know, and I like the people that I work with, but it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel the same as some of the previous jobs I've had where I've actually been able to develop good friendships with people. It's just kind of like, you know, you're cool, but like, you know, it's, you know, it's just like, it, I don't know, it's a little different. And yeah, now I think about it, it's as simple as going to more events. I should have gone to ColosseCon this year, even if I was super insecure about my body and stuff like that. You know, with cosplay and with possibly going to a water park and shit like that. That ego was keeping me, and that sucks that happened, and that time has passed now, and I'll just have to make it up next year. But yeah. And then there's this whole, you know, I keep pushing like that, things like that, and I'm gonna, like, you know, I'm gonna look back and all my 20s is gonna be full of this whole, you know, feeling sorry for myself and not doing enough and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, there was a lot of that, and that sucks, but like, it happened. You gotta just take things as they are right now, and as they are right now, and it's gonna be uncomfortable as fuck, but just kind of go with the flow for now. That's all I gotta do for now, is just go with the flow and actually be okay with that. Because me doing it the way I have, which is technically going with the flow, but not being okay with just doing that, that's where it gets me. But going with the flow and being fine with it will kind of help things go into place and get into place better. The problem is, I think it's gonna be just one day and then we're moving on now. This is something, the need for me to do this, to do this nothingness, has been something that's built up for a while. It's not gonna just be one day of me doing jack shit and relaxing for once and then everything's gonna be fixed automatically. That's not how it works. So I gotta be fine with the fact that I'm not gonna be the ultimate version of myself I want to be right now. And yeah, maybe there's also the fear of, you know, the mortality of it. You know, there's, you know, we never know when we're gonna kick it, really. You know, I might get in a car accident tomorrow and have nothing to show for my life, and that's the thought that's gotten to me. But like, that's just something I gotta not think about. There's plenty of people in the world that have great value to them and haven't really, on the outside, it doesn't seem like they've made a big mark, but they have, just by being them. You'd think that would sink in, especially after all the times I've been told that in rehab and stuff like that. But like, the thing about it is, it's like, of all the things I absorbed in rehab, I didn't absorb everything. Despite hearing it, despite repeating the words, despite writing them down, I just wasn't in the mental place to take it all, to just take it all in correctly. And that's understandable, because, like, you know, it's the sad and unfortunate reality that a lot of people go back to rehab for a reason. I hope I never get to that point, but, like, yeah, you're not, it's 1 month in rehab isn't going to change you forever. It's not enough. I wish I could have gone for longer, but, like, unfortunately, this is not the way the structure of it works. And even the people there now says, like, this is a great program, but realistically, you would need more time. And it's just something we can't do. So that sucks, you know. So as a result, you're not gonna absorb everything, even as open-minded of a person that as I am. Shit happens. So, you know, it's just me having to do that. The post-rehab, you know, the going through my own rehab, but while doing things in daily life, which can put a lot of pressure on things, which is also the big part of the reason why I have to do nothing. Because when you think about it, I still am doing a lot. It's not like I'm pushing everything off, because there are things I have to do. You know, I paid for the school, and I gotta do it and ace these classes and stuff like that. So it's something I'm gonna have to do regardless. So I mean, that's something that in the meantime is kind of forcing me to do something. But, like, as long as I don't put additional pressure on myself like I have, it will be more manageable. And that's the issue, is I'm putting more pressure on myself than I need to. You know, just kind of do what you're doing right now. You know, kind of go with the flow of things.
and the things that you have to do, things are going to fall in place anyway. For the things I have to do specifically, I'm not speaking for everybody, but like working, just getting out of the house, having something that's some structure to force me out of the house, and then school, that's something that's forcing me to do something, while in the meantime I'm just focusing on taking care of me, which taking care of me looks like not really doing much, with the exception of this whole diet and working out thing. And as far as working out, I'm probably not going to push it much beyond like 2 or 3 days a week, honestly. Like, I know at my peak I was working out, like, actually I was only doing heavy lifting 2 days a week, but I was doing a very good job of it. It was actually the best thing for me for my progress was heavy lifting 2 days a week and then walking every single day. And it was great for my metabolism. It was great for my, progress in the gym. I wasn't getting big by any means, but I was getting strong and I was getting cut, and I was fine with that, because getting big for me, that being a goal in the past, made the body just more feel worse over anything else. So I'm not so much focused on that. If I need to look bigger in my Batman costume, I'm just gonna fucking get a muscle suit, right? Not saying I'm giving up on my fitness. Definitely not. I'm just saying it's like I am more satisfied with just being cut and being strong than just being big, so that, but regardless, like, getting way too off track, that was a good routine for me. 2 days a week, getting strong, also taking those walks, so I just looked good and I felt good. But even with that, that's a lot, on top of all the other shit I gotta do. An hour walk every single day on top of 2 hours of heavy lifting every week. Considering everything else that's going on in my life that I have to deal with, that's actually quite a bit. So, like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting off track again with it, but like the thing is, it's just like, yeah, that's nice to think about, because that was me at my peak. I can get to that again, but the truth of the matter is that can't be me right now. This version of me isn't gonna be me forever, so I have to put that worry out of my head, because it's going to be me forever if I keep up feeling bad about it and forcing myself to do things that I can't do right now. So I just got to go through the flow, and things are going to be very minimal. I'm probably not going to take those walks every single day, but I'm going to make sure I hit the gym a couple times a week. Hit the gym. It's a home gym, which is very effective because I have all the right equipment, and I don't want to go to a fucking gym, especially with these days where everyone's recording themselves and yelling at you for looking at them or whatever the fuck that's all about. I haven't been to a fucking like actual full-on gym since I was like 14 years old, so yeah. It's just something I just gotta relax. And I've said that time and time again, but it's like just repeating the words is what I was doing and making it sound like I was believing what I was saying. But right now I'm actually truly believing what I'm saying. But yeah. So this is my journey through not feeling so guilty about not being productive. And that part of it is the most relatable part of it all, because especially in our society, in our current culture, this grind set, and people becoming super successful when they're like fucking 19 and shit like that, it can make you feel like shit. But like, you have to separate that part of yourself. I mean, it's a big reason I'm not on social media anymore, because it can so easily, because I've seen some of the smartest, most fucking knowledgeable, like level-headed people lose their fucking minds because of the amount of time they spend online. It's fucking crazy for one reason or another, whether it be comparing themselves to other, or whether it be like they're a YouTuber or something like that who just has to be on all the time. I've seen people lose their fucking shit because of yeah. So it is not a good thing to constantly be online. That's a big factor. It's not just society and culture. It's the fact that it's amplified by the internet so much. It's fucking wild. And I know I'm posting this on the internet and shit, but like, there are good things about the internet. The internet is both like one of the greatest and one of the worst things ever created, ever. It's such a double-edged sword. It's insane, because it's produced so much opportunity and all this stuff, and it's both produced great connection but also removed a lot of connection, which is a big problem, especially in
dating and shit like that, and that's a whole fucking thing. I don't even want to think about dating right now, but that's another obstacle, male loneliness, all this kind of stuff. And there's female loneliness epidemic now as a result of the male loneliness, and that's a whole other thing about why that's an issue, and a big part of it, once again, amplified by the fucking internet and by dating apps and all this kind of stuff. So if you're watching this is a weird, like, me wanting more views, but at the same time kind of telling you to stay off the internet for, like, a day every once in a while, because it is gonna fuck with you hard. But, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not... I was gonna say, it's like, well, so it's just gonna be me talking about nothing for a while in these videos. This is mostly what you're gonna see, and it's not gonna get me much traction, but that's actually not true as far as the talking about nothing thing, because I do have some things I wanted to talk about. They're very repetitive things, as in, like, other people have talked about them, but, sometimes that's fine, because, like, I legit just had an idea today just to talk about, my updated opinions on Metallica's 72 Seasons. Still don't love the album, but I have, more appreciation for it. But I also think that people that glaze it are coping hard. But I think that people that hate it also don't completely understand. I still don't understand what the fuck they were thinking when they made the album. I don't understand a lot of the things that band did post-Black Album. Though I'm not a hater of all they did after the Black Album. There's still some amazing stuff that they did that a lot of people are like, a lot of purists won't admit to. Hell, a lot of purists, a lot of heavy metal, like, elitists won't even acknowledge that the Black Album's a good album. Unlike me saying the first 5 albums are amazing, there's so many people that say first 4. The Black Album is amazing. Shut the fuck up. Just because it's mainstream doesn't mean it's bad, and just because it's not 50 million miles an hour doesn't mean it's not good. You're fucking retarded. Anyway, yeah, but. So yeah, just relax, man. Just relax. Ain't that deep. It ain't that deep.